It's that time of year again where Big Finish drop details about the next year's installment. We have 2025 Big Finish details. We've had the mega bundle drop.
15 whole releases, all 3 disc box sets, all at 19.99 for download now and 24.99 for CD. There's been a bit of a price increase again,
Yes.
which certainly a bit surprising there.
I mean,
It's
if we look at the prices, because where it's interesting because the 2022 relaunch news dropped the 26th of May.
mm,
So we're nearly 2 years since that. Well, 3 years actually since that
yeah,
news
3 years.
dropped. The bundle
This is the
price
fourth year of the relaunch coming up that they've just announced.
that this is wild. So the bundle price for that was 275 on CD. 2023 bundle, I should say,
Yeah,
was priced at 200 and if I can find it.
I think the first 2 years were the same, 2022 and 2023. It's then the following year that it was a bump up. This year, 2024.
Yeah, we've got the 294 for this year's bundle, wasn't it?
Although that was a bit cheaper at first, I believe. I think
Yeah.
they rose it up after January came along, because just to incentivize people picking up that much earlier, which I'm assuming they're going to do with this one as well, which
Yeah.
is 335 for CD and 275 for download. And all these have pretty much been the same. The early ones were 14 releases. It ended up being the same amount of audio because the Fourth Doctor box sets were 4 discs and 5 discs each, whereas now it's 3 disc ones for the Fourth Doctor. So it's still the same grand total of discs and average runtime. But yeah, just spread across a bit more. I'm about individual artwork now, it seems.
Which is a shame because if you're paying, the price has gone up, so you want a bit more of an incentive to pick up other than your interludes or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we say this, but we don't know for a fact that there won't be individual artwork. Certainly, sometimes they'll come along and surprise you, like with the Torchwood Soho flipping cover, where
Yes.
you've got your heaven side and your hell side of that. So you never know. They do sometimes come along and surprise us. That seems to be more a Torchwood thing, though.
I mean, a nice little bonus if you pre-order it before the 3rd of June and you're one of the first 200 people, you get a £10 gift card. So
Hmm.
that's a little incentive if you want. That acts as you because when you had the old subscription format, you'd get a free gift of to the value of £10. So it's
Yeah,
nice to see
right.
that continue with a voucher, which I guess is more free reign than being limited to just selecting a £10 release, whether that be an Eighth Doctor, Fourth Doctor venture. It was quite limiting. That was so. I think having the free reign of a gift voucher.
You could use it on anything and just get £10 off it rather than having to choose something that's specifically £10 or less.
Yes.
But yeah, what does next year entail at Big Finish? Creative director Nicholas Briggs said, "All our writers, directors, script editors, and producers continue to work tirelessly to create exciting new adventures for all our Doctors. The First Doctor continues his strange encounters with past companions, with an absolute corker by Jacqueline Rayner already recorded and in post production. So,
Mm.
presumably another six-parter there."
Yes. Yes.
So
I
just
imagine
the
so.
fact that he's describing just one box set as, you know, one work by Jacqueline Rayner.
Hmm.
Past companion, we've had Vicky. Looking at surviving actors, that leaves us with Peter Purves as Stephen, William Russell as Ian, but
I think that's out of the
somewhat
question.
doubtful of that one. Yeah. And then Carol Ann Ford as Susan.
Yeah. It's got to be Peter Purves. I think the amount of stuff he does for Big Finish.
Hmm. Yeah, but I mean, Carol Ann Ford. When
Susan.
was the last time? Was it Susan's War? No, no, no. The Union. Sorry.
We have a union.
Yeah, so
So
fairly recent.
it's been longer for Peter Purvis, and really, so I think he's due a Big Finish renaissance.
Yeah, and this is of course still starring the wonderful Stephen Noonan. So
Yes.
yeah, his fourth box set. it feels like only yesterday they announced him still, but
Hmm.
he's been around now at Big Finish for a good little while.
Yeah, and long may it continue.
Oh yeah, hopefully so. Loving his stuff and loving getting to chat to him as well from time to time too.
Yeah, it's great.
Wonderful chap, all of him, all one of him.
All one. The second Doctor is continuing by the sound his post-war games adventures, taking him to surprising new places.
I mean that feels like the same thing they said last time about the second Doctor adventure.
Yeah,
We still don't have this year's news.
yeah. So it's. I think this is a thing. I like the Beyond War game stuff, but I like to know how long is this going on for.
Hmm. Do they even know? That's the question.
That's a thing. If they said, right, it's going to be a limited run of what, 4 box sets, great, and then we can get back to your traditional second Doctor stuff. Because just having, again with the first Doctor, just having the 1 box set a year, it kind of loses the momentum for these ranges.
Yeah. And then the third Doctor will come right back down to Earth just after his very first adventure in a story I've co-written, I've being Nicholas Briggs, this is still his quote, with first-time Big Finish writer, thriller author, Richard James. I've had a really great time co-writing with him. He's brought some really great vintage flavour to a lovely story. So, 7-parter, presumably?
Yes, I think that this is the one what Nick Briggs teased on the podcast when it's Doctor Who and the.
Yeah, because this would be sandwiched between Spearhead from Space and Doctor Who and the Silurians. Yeah, it's an interesting choice, really, because usually with stories like this, they deliberately set them, as far back or leave it fairly ambiguous. With most Third Doctor adventures, the only other one I can think of that has a specific setting in the narrative would be Conquest of Far, where that's quite explicitly picking up where Planet of the Daleks left off.
Yeah. That springs to mind. Yeah.
So, are we going to see the Third Doctor choosing Bessie? Because obviously, Spearhead ends with him asking, "When do we get to choose it?" So this is very much going to be him settling into Unit as well, which I think is rather nice. It feels like there is a gap there that can be explored a little bit, because with the Silurians, while he's still newish, I think a lot of that is projected by us as an audience.
Yeah.
If you're watching these out of order with no context, I don't think you'd quite be able to pick up on the fact that the Silurians is
his second.
The next. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, the performance, perhaps. But yeah, just in terms of how the story is written, how it's written for the Third Doctor, it doesn't feel like he's still settling into life on Earth and at Unit. It feels like he's very much at home already.
Yeah, and I think Big Finish have had a really good track record with the Season 7 stuff they've done, like Annihilators, Intelligence of War, The Gulf.
Definitely. I mean, Annihilators written solely by Nicholas Briggs.
So
that's brilliant. So
that makes me incredibly excited, because when I think of Season 7 on audio, my brain naturally goes to that one. So hopefully it's catching that same vibe, and we'll be in for a treat.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I assume this means that Joe Jones is confirmed for October as well. I mean, it was kind of...
It was in the original
announced
press release,
anyway. Yeah. But, we were expecting Sarah at the end of last year, and ended up getting Liz instead, which, wasn't too bad a switch. We got Sarah come February anyway. But, there's sort of like, before a proper announcement is made, you're sort of thinking, are they going to do a bit of a flipperoo here? But the fact that they've explicitly said there's a Liz one coming February next year sort of makes you think, it's going to be
Joe.
Yeah, Joe, then Liz, then Sarah again come October. That seems to be the pattern they're following at the moment with the Third
Which is good,
adventures.
because it gives each companion their own moment, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. And gives you a different flavour each time. But yeah, senior producer John Ainsworth added, long-term listeners will know that we record Tom Baker's Fourth Doctor Adventures well in advance, but there might be some surprises on the way. Yes, some of these were recorded as far back as the 4th and 14th of December 2018, and it's not coming out till September 2025.
Now,
Wow.
yeah, this lines up with when Tom Baker was doing his Scratchman little tour, and he was like,
Ah.
"We recently recorded a Cleopatra audio, so could we finally get details on the Cleopatra story that we've known for so long now?"
Hmm.
And this is another thing. Obviously, we're going to be celebrating 50 years of the Fourth Doctor. Do you think that this is going to be the celebration, or do you think we're going to get a little bonus thing for Tom?
Because the actual date is December of this year, 2024,
Hmm.
for the 50th anniversary of Robot. So part of me feels like there's going to be something coming the end of this year. And it's Tom. They
Yeah.
never, especially with how much they record in advance with him. It's almost like there's never too much of him. But yeah, I don't know how big it will be though,
Hmm.
because 3 box sets on top of however much they had planned for that might be a bit too much, Tom.
You have.
Like
Oh, go on.
if they dropped it to 2 box sets of Tom in like the big bundle, then I'd be a bit more suspicious of, oh, what have they got planned?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, my only worry would be that if it wasn't, especially with how sporadic these recording dates are, like some of them are from 2021, 2020, 2019, as we said, 2018, it would feel like they're just taking random stories they recorded across the years, slapping the 50 years of Tom on it and calling it a day, rather than having something specifically to celebrate it recorded.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's got to be something special as well.
Do you have any theories of what companion it will be?
Harmy's
Or
leaning towards
companions?
Leela.
Yeah, especially with those dates. It seems very likely it'll be Leela.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's confirmed that the Cleopatra one was going to be a Leela one, but it always,
Just
in
looking
my
at
mind,
what
was a
stuff we
Leela
had.
one. Could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
wrong. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if it was switching it up each box set, similar to what a lot of the other Doctors do,
Hmm.
rather than it being just one for each. It is still being called Series 14 though. They're continuing that numbering rather than following suit with the rest of the Doctors in the
Yeah.
relaunch, where they're
Relaunch
just
doesn't count for Tom.
no.
It's just business
It's,
as usual.
yeah, the only real effect it's had is losing the individual covers, which I think was going to happen anyway. Eventually, it's been
Yeah.
happening to all the Doctors, and switching to the 3 disc box set format. But he's still king because he's got one more
Yeah.
box set than, well, most other Doctors. He's got 2 more box sets than the first and second Doctor. Really have one each still.
I mean,
Uh,
good for Tom. Good for Tom. But
hmm.
our next Doctor, also in 2025, Peter Davison stars in a 12-part Fifth Doctor story for the first time ever. It's an epic featuring new worlds, new creatures, and a searing light that can burn everything to dust. So, are we going to get 42 with the Fifth Doctor?
43,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's funny. We're talking about other Doctors having 2 box sets each. Fifth Doctor's got 2 box sets, but one story.
Mm.
So it's sort of putting a lot of weight on this 112-parter. But yeah, they seem to really be liking their longer form storytelling at the moment with, a lot of box sets like the War Doctor Rises, how that's, giving one writer a whole box set to play with. Dark Gallifrey, each trilogy having one writer and such. Last Day, that was a 12-parter.
Mm.
This one intrigues me. It's coming out April and May as well, so it's nice that it's back to back. You don't have a long gap like we had in 40 between January and September.
I think it will only benefit the story, unlike The Last Day, where you've had to wait 6 months to get answers for it. We love our long form storytelling here, so this is exciting. I hope that it is one writer.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Sometimes doubling up writers can work, though. Part of me would love to see what Tim Foley could do with a 12-parter, because
That's what I mean. If it's just 12-part Tim Foley, it's going to be number one story of the year.
he is the Fifth Doctor King at the moment, and also it feels like the longer runtime he's given, even greater the story becomes.
Mm.
So I'd love to see what he could do with a 12-parter. I wonder what companions we'll get, if it'll be one specific set or if we'll be throwing more in as a sort. Because it doesn't feel like he needs a celebration.
No.
He's just had 40. So, just let this be not quite your typical story because it's a 12-parter. It needs to be epic in some ways. But, maybe it'll just be Peter Davison on his own with, like, new original characters for just this one story.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Cause they've not really done that with the Fifth Doctor, but I would love Turlo and Tegan.
Yeah, I think they'd suit this.
So we've not really had proper story with them. I think the first time we've had it really was Autumn Infinity. We did have the Lost Story Nightmare Country, but that doesn't really count. That's its own little thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but even 40 technically had Chameleons still there.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, searing light that could burn everything to dust is just sort of giving me Flux vibes because it'll be the same runtime approximately.
Yeah,
so yeah, Fifth Doctor's got his own Flux.
Pretty
might
cool.
not be the most flattering comparison there. I'm excited.
Very excited for Davo.
And finally, the 6th, 7th, and 8th Doctors will feature in 2 box sets each, as in previous years. I shan't give too much away, I being John Ainsworth, still his quote, but expect companions old and new, some classic series monsters that haven't featured in audio for a decade, and a name that's been hiding in plain sight, and it's time to go there. For the classic series monster that hasn't been featured in audio for a decade, you, I think, got it bang on the money earlier before we started recording. You mentioned Zygons.
Yeah, because it'll be 10 years since Zygon Hunt.
I like thinking back to other monsters around that time. The Swarm sort of came to mind from Revenge of the Swarm, but I think it's Zygons. I think you were bang on there.
It's got to be, hasn't it? They're iconic in their own right. Looking at 2015 monsters, there's nothing really there. Only like Marshman. It could be, but I think Zygons kind of sound more appealing.
Yeah. Companions old and new makes you wonder, are they talking about new as in recently introduced ones? New as in Big Finish original? Or new as in brand new for this year?
Because new, you think Audacity. Because she's a new addition to the Big Finish roster of companions.
Yeah. If it's a brand new companion that we've not heard before, I feel like it's probably going to be the 7th Doctor. Because as you say, 8th Doctor recently had Audacity. 6th Doctor had Hebe not too long ago.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is Colin, because he seems to get off the new companions.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't even mind if it was Colin, to be fair.
No.
Yeah.
But I think with Colin,
feels like Sylvester is the one who's, of these 3, if someone's going to get a new companion, I'd want it to be him.
Yeah. It's been a while since he's had a new companion.
As for the name that's been hiding in plain sight, and it's time to go there, not clear.
I thought Silence could kill us all on sight. I don't think that is that.
We sort of had Silence not too long ago with Classic Doctors, New Monsters anyway. This feels like something that's been teased for a while, but we've not picked up on the tease.
Or maybe we've just not had the tease yet. It could be in a box set or whatever coming up, I don't know.
The way they've said hiding in plain sight, though, that makes you think we've already seen it, we just don't know it yet.
Okay.
I feel like it'll probably be obvious by the time
we'll
they
kick
come
ourselves.
to say it, but just looking at the moment, my mind's blank. I don't know. But yeah, exciting stuff overall. So, 1st Doctor, January. 2nd Doctor, July. 3rd Doctor, February and October. All pretty standard so far. 4th Doctor, March, June and September. Same as this year. 5th Doctor, April and May. That's when it starts to switch up a bit. Yeah. 6th Doctor, May and August. So it's back to what it was originally. Whereas this year, the first box set moved to March.
Because the anniversary.
40 years of Colin. 7th Doctor is June and November. Standard stuff. And 8th Doctor is November and December. So back to the November slot with McGann.
And I imagine we'll have Uncharted 2 in the meantime, so we'll be fine for McGann content.
Yeah, and I'm sure other stuff as well. Like he gets loads of special box sets. Maybe a Further Adventures of Lucy Miller or something. He'll be popping up in some other series too, but Dark Gallifrey. I don't know. It's McGann. He gets
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, and we love him.
Yeah, we won't be going from December of this year to November of next year without a single drop of McGann. In the meantime, there's going to be something there.
There has to be.
Guarantee it. But yeah, have you pre-ordered?
I have
Got the bundle?
I have.
You've gone for
Because
it.
I was scared because I saw the number of 1,000 and I was like, I would kick myself if I missed it. Because I don't think it's got to sell out straight away. But yeah, if you want your CDs, go for it. You know.
I mean, if you were going to pick it up anyway,
yeah,
might as well go for it. I've yet to quite do it. I've not quite had a chance because from this being announced to us now sitting down to record this, I've been out really. So
yeah,
it was just like, get back in. Let's talk about this because it's exciting news.
it is exciting. Yeah. It's that sort of the thing you wait for in each year, really, isn't it? To get details of the next year.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because you said about this being 26th of May was when the first batch of relaunch stuff was announced back in 2021.
30th of June last year.
Yeah, they left it a little later. So this one sort of snuck up on us a bit.
I was expecting a big finish day for them to drop this news.
Yeah, so maybe more details will probably come for them, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to have some special announcements held back for that. But now it's wonderful getting these announcements though, where it's little details, little teases. It helps us form a picture in our minds of what's to come and speculate a bit more, while still leaving plenty of room for further announcements of stories, writers, companions, etc.
It's all exciting, and I'm sure we'll cover those releases when they drop.
Oh, easily.
So
I mean, you've already bought them, so
yeah,
well
gotta do it.
Investment.
Yeah, gotta recuperate it some way by talking about it on the internet.
I mean, we've still got loads of releases to talk about this year. Some we still don't have details for yet.
No.
But yeah, we'll be back to your ears soon with our thoughts on the Dream Team, Echoes, Metamorphosis when that comes around next month.
The Last Day, Part 1 and 2.
There's lots of videos still to come here on the channel, so please do subscribe.
Yeah, some Big Finish topic videos like Forgotten box sets.
Season 1 content.
We've got
Ncuti Gatwa, as in Season 1 with Ncuti Gatwa.
Yeah, not a Season 1 of Big Finish.
We're not talking about anything with Ncuti Gatwa, as much as we'd love to have him here as a guest.
It'd be marvellous. We're talking about Big Finish's individual releases, how that's sort of become a big thing this year. So yeah, plenty of stuff coming up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure this has added to that conversation as well, because we now know that the relaunch isn't quite shifted to individual releases just yet. But yeah, we'll save that for another time. Thank you all for watching. Let us know which Doctor's Adventures you're most excited for next year in the comments below. We will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.